Hey everybody, welcome to week 4, leadership course, leadership and management. Okay, and I got a little Veterans Day poster up here. Some of you may know I'm a retired Army guy, and we had some veterans in the class. But anyway, I just put that because Wednesday's Veterans Day. So just a little reminder to everybody. Sometimes it gets kind of missed. Although a lot of the food places now are like doing free meals of veterans. I personally have never made it because one, the crowds, and so I don't, so big crowds, and so I don't work well in big crowds, something like that. But anyway, I might try this year, depending how crowded it is. But anyway, so if you are a veteran, a lot of places do the free meals. And as you know, last week I did my wizard hat, so no wizard hat this week, but I'll do a little throwback picture back of my Army days here. That's me there, back like in 1986 or 7, something like that. And what else? And then here's another one. That's another one of me back then. So anyway, so there's some throwback pictures for you. And let's just jump into the course here real quick. Okay, so for most part, what I'm seeing, no, everybody seems to be doing well. Let me see. Last week's homework, the ones I've seen, everybody seems to be catching on, and what we're talking about there on the diverse workforce, all the different aspects that go into it. So like I've pointed out in the video last week, diversity is more than just when people say diverse, some people automatically think race, and that's just one part of it. There's gender, there's different things that go into diversity. So that's why of course this course, you teach what those things are. So but like I say, everything I saw was good. Same thing with the discussion. Um, oops, get in there. All right, last week's discussion we were talking about, different bosses and everything, and there was a lot of good examples in there, and a lot of, interaction. So everybody had some good stories to tell. Some like, oh, great boss and everything, and then some that the bad bosses, be it people who hired friends and didn't know how to manage people, or people not being trained to be bosses anymore, and things like that. There's a lot of things that go into people, how people get into a job. Um, a lot of times people really aren't ready for those jobs. They are pretty much thrown into it and have to learn after they get in there. So that's one of the reasons, like if we're to work at bees, we see bad leadership because they were never taught how to be a leader. There is no, in the military, there is schools and stuff people go to. Plus, you learn from experience. Young people in the military usually aren't good leaders, but they learn as they go, and as you get older and years go by, they learn how to do it. Civilian world doesn't have a similar system. So, there's no way to, other than just getting experience and learning from somebody. And if somebody has a bad boss and that's who their example is, then they'll be a bad boss. So, I mean, um, one of the things, when I got out of the Army, and transitioned to work with Donald's Pizza, running their corporate stores up in Seattle, I can probably be a little bit intimidating, but at the same time, I learned the business. But I remember there was a few cases where I had store managers that I would do write-ups on, and the official term for the write-up was called corrective action. I mean, that's right on the top of the form. And the first time I gave one to this one manager, I mean, she started crying on me. And, I asked her, what's wrong? She said, well, I've never been written up before. And I asked her, well, how old are you? She says, well, I'm 30. I said, okay, so you've never had a write-up before? She said, no. And my answer to that was, well, then you've had bosses who never did their jobs, because nobody is perfect. Everybody needs to learn. They need to be given guidance. And if you put it on paper as a checklist, and a lot of people have a syndrome about getting written up that, oh, the purpose is to fire people. And in some companies, maybe it is, but in reality, it's supposed to be to help people to learn their job. And so that was an attitude I found several times when I did write-ups with the pizza stores. People were like, they were devastated because no one ever done it before. But hey, all those people, I never fired those people. Now other people when I fired them. Most of them would apologize to me because I was firing them, because they already knew, because I gave them verbal and written ahead of time, letting them know, hey, if you don't do this, this is what's going to happen later. And so that's part of communication. The reason I give you that example is because in your week 4 discussion here, if I remember right, we're doing something along that lines. Mistake. How did the boss handle it? What was the effect? You made a mistake. Did they get mad? Did they coach you? What was that? So that's what that is. Okay, and then so the homeworks. Again, the homeworks are seen. Let me see, week 3 homework, just to make sure we're not missing something. Yeah, diverse. Okay, just talk about that. Okay, so the upcoming homework is upward, downward communication. There again, something what I was just talking about, me talking with people who are working for me. Same thing here. What type of communication we're talking about from the book and from the slides. Types of communication. I mean, you can insert your own personal views in there too, but we're talking about different types of thing here. So, and that's gonna, you're gonna get that, in the slides for this week. Chapter oops, which one's this? Chapter whatever this is, 11, right? I'm pretty sure. Yep, chapter 10. I'm sorry, 10, 11, and 12. Chapter 10 is about motivating people. Again, I know you hear me say that word harp all the time, but maybe I'll have to figure out a different word instead of harp. But anyway, just look at the different terms and terminology and what they mean. Motivation, what managers do. Different types of things that goes on to motivate people. Same thing over here with chapter 11, the teamwork concept. There's lots of things that go into it. And it's more than just a one-word thing. Oh, we got to get along together. I mean, there's lots of things that go into it that we don't think about until we actually start looking at it. So, again, there, pay attention to the concepts, the definitions, and so forth. And your last one over here, chapter 12, is communication. This is where we're talking some about the counseling type thing I gave you my example of, or like the homework assignment there. That you'll find some of that stuff in this chapter here. Different types of communications. So, all right. So that's pretty much. We'll leave it at that. That's pretty much a short version. Like I say, everybody's active in here, doing well. Good work in the discussions. So that's always good. And so no issues that I know of yet. If there is one, you need to let me know. Email the inbox, the Canvas system, call or text, whatever works for you, and we'll get you through it. So, all right. With that, we'll leave it alone. And remember, have a good week. Veterans Day. Those of you veterans, good deal. Go get some free lunch or dinner or something. And with that, we'll leave you alone and talk to you guys during the week or next week. Take care.